June 24th, 1965, the day that has created a memorable history for the yajna and the world. 24 जून का दिन, 24 जून का दिन, बगिया लगी महकाने, गुच्छे अंगूर के भी लगे साथ सबके कहने, माँ तेरी याद आई, वो बात याद आई, माँ तेरी याद आई. On a beautiful Thursday morning, Brahma Baba spent hours in Mama's room, giving her loving and blessed children who were present in Madhuban. Baba was continuously giving grapes in Mama's hand, and Mama was giving it to all Baba's children with her extremely powerful, loving and pure drishti. Even though Mama was feeling unwell that day, she continued to stay up and give grapes to every soul, including the gardeners, carpenters, and the constructor workers staying in Madhuban. After a few hours of giving grapes, everyone started to proceed with their daily routine. No one could tell from Mama's divine and cheerful face that she was soon going to bid farewell. Mama's stage had a unique power that day. Everyone who touched her hand felt current passing through them. She continuously remained in deep silence throughout the day. Now it was the afternoon time. Everyone had taken their lunch and were now going for their rest. During this time, Mama started to feel that she is now about to leave this body. She started to feel uneasy, and her health was reaching an extreme condition. Baba was told about this news, and he directly came to Mama's room. Baba continuously started to give her power and love through his drishti. And finally, Adi Devi, the World Mother, had left her physical costume for the purpose of world service. The significance of this day will forever be remembered in the world history.
देश काल से ऊपर उठकर कर नर नारी भेद निवारण, दोनों एक साथ ही आत्मा, यह अभिनव सिद्धांत निरूपण। तुमने ऐसे सत्य सुनाए, ज्ञान योग के मर्म बताए, कहती अब जागृत आत्माएं, क्यों न सभी शिव शक्ति कहाए। हाँ, मैंने देखा माँ तुमको और शक्तियों के भी दल को, इनके ज्ञान योग के बल को, जीवन दिव्य और निश्चल को।
Shanti. Welcome to Vyakti Parivar. Today's day 14. Smriti Swarup. Didi Mohini Bapsaman. Bapsaman Angelic. My Smriti is Bapsaman and my Swarup is Angelic. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. You all have become consistent effort makers, right? Because we get so much homework and we have many, many points from Madhuban. It's not too much, right? Enough to do. I had been looking into this Mam Ekam and Shakti Sarup. Something very subtle, Mam Ekam. That means my intellect is with one. My intellect is merged in love of one. Soul is so subtle, and then within soul, intellect is also very subtle. So when we start paying attention to intellect, then we notice how subtly intellect is pulled very quickly towards different directions. It could be towards situations, it could be towards objects, it could be towards people. And that is why it is very important while interacting, while using whatever we have to use, there needs to be remembrance of Baba. It's like, we're doing two things at a time in the sense of uh, karma yogi, but remembrance also same time. So remembrance while doing actions will help us. But generally, when we are doing actions, we are in actions, right? Our intellect is really in actions. But if at that time, if I'm using anything, I'm in Baba's remembrance, then my intellect is not getting in the bondage. So I think it's more like attention while doing actions. Internally, I'm in remembrance of Baba. There is love for Baba. Think of any way, any virtue, not as a point of life. I am point of light, Baba is point of light. No. This is Baba's yagya. Baba is Karan Karavanhar. I am doing Baba's task. I am Baba's instrument. Even just one thought based on knowledge can help us that intellect is with Baba. But generally, that it depends on how we look at our chart. But I find that it requires a lot of attention plus practice, right? It's not difficult, but definitely it requires practice. I remember a few times Brahma Baba, because he used to pay a lot of attention to remembrance. I'm eating with Baba, I'm playing with Baba. Baba is now looking at children. It's Baba's task, Baba's unlimited yagya. So like Brahma Baba, keep reminding himself whole day. How do we come to know is he will ask question to us. With whom are you playing? With whom you are eating? Are you victorious soul? So also keep reminding our part. What is our part? Otherwise it becomes ordinary, So it's attention on whole day's actions. Very, very important. Brahma Baba also had routine of 18 hours. It's not like he will just go sit or no. He will wake up, get ready for morning, go for walk, will come and have breakfast. He has to uh, listen to the letters of children, give replies. Then he will go around kitchen, bandara, walk all around. uh, Then he comes back. Then he has lunch and short rest. Then he will sit at 4. Many of us went around 5 o'clock and Baba will be sitting. And it was not like sitting as forcefully, like in a particular posture, but very relaxed. Because his remembrance was, while doing action, like it's a very relaxed posture that you could feel he is in company. Mhm. You could feel that Baba is in company. That means very often he took in love, remembrance, his intellect towards Baba. As I say, intellect is so subtle that sometimes he won't even know. But we could know that now it has broken, that link is not there. And that is why this habit of not thinking too much is also important. Because when our intellect gets involved, then we just keep going on, right? Like mind. Mind also is like that. If it goes anywhere, there's so many thoughts come, so many thoughts come. Same is the intellect, right? And that is why contemplation, reflection, or just taking maybe just one thought per whole day. So this intellect connection with Baba will give me that form of Shiv Shakti. That means I am taking Shakti or power from Shiv Baba. And when the soul or intellect is wandering, you could feel that subtle, very subtle weaknesses could arise. Or you will find this, the influence of sanskars, of my own sanskar or sanskars of others. Especially now we have to pay a lot of attention that it's not the sanskar which making my mind think or intellect think, but it's based on knowledge, love of Baba. So when I look at and think of Dadis, Mohini Didi, other Dadis, you could see they are so deeply, either they will, anytime they sat, they were chatting, it was about knowledge, it was about Baba, it was about service. All the time. Now, it's not that they didn't have anything to do. At that time also there were few hundred souls. So everything used to work. Everything. Cooking, answering letters, meeting people, giving a command, means every department was functioning. Somewhere deeply that love, Mamekam stage was very visible. And Shiv Shakti means any situation came, they were not nervous or afraid. That means they didn't waste time, they just, I'm Shiv Shakti. All the powers, all the qualities of Shiv Baba are in me. So today I was watching my stage and said, am I Shiv Shakti? Hmm? Am I image of Shiv Shakti? That means not fear, no nervousness. Then I realized that if you really think of far off future, what will happen, how will it happen, will I be able to do or not? As soon as we think that way, one can get nervous, right? Or fear. And then you say, why my intellect is going there? Why my intellect is being pulled? Let me just be in love of Baba. So you have to keep doing it all day. That's what I realized, that intellect do go sometimes for very future. So when will we be able to travel to Madhuban? What will happen? Intellect is going there, right? But someone say, but I love Madhuban, right? So I should think that way. Yes, there should be love, but it's not intellect should be pulled. So I feel it was quite a subtle effort to see that intellect is just with one Baba. It was good because I noticed that how many times the intellect was going, then I said, no, from where? I have to just have my intellect with Baba. Then I pull it back. Oh, my intellect has to be with Baba. Today is Mama come. And it is good, that's where we keep practicing. And then we will find after some time, if we keep paying attention. So how many of you paid attention whole day? Not what happened, but how many have thought of Mamekam? Let me see hands. Mamekam and Shakti Sarup. No, you all didn't make effort. Hmm? Because that's what we want to know. To listen and to practice and look at how much we were able to do. Of course, Baba has said that when you have some assignment, right? Some are at work. So you have to concentrate. You have to use your intellect. So I was looking at my chart and I keep thinking about Brahma Baba came so many times in front of me that how quickly he will just, we could see his intellect now with Baba. And then he reminds us in some way or other. And same was while doing actions also. And especially we talking about Didi Mohini. She was all the time. Shiv Baba yaad hai? Are you in remembrance of Shiv Baba? very, very often she will say, she will ask this question. That means her intellect was with Shiv Baba. So I think that it needs a lot of practice, but also if we do it, then we will know what's the percentage my intellect is with Baba. And whatever percent is required, we will pay attention and do it. But if I don't know how many times my intellect got extra involved in anything, so whatever you have to do, you have to be clear, you have to think. But whenever it's extra, no? And that will not be counted. And so karma yogi has to do karma. So it was very, very beautiful day, reminding myself of image of Shiv Shakti and also Mamekam. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So now we will listen more about our Mohini Didi ji. So would like to invite our angel, Sister Gayatri. Welcome.
Shanti and good evening to everyone. And today is my day 7. And we're looking at my Smriti is Bapsaman and my Swarup is Angelic. As I went through these 7 days of exploring the personality of Didi ji, I realized that there's a lot to be learned from those who have gone before us. And learning from Didi ji over the past week took me to the heights of spiritual aspirations. I suppose it took everyone to the heights of spiritual aspirations, because spiritual aspirations are not ordinary. Actually, they lift us and put us on very high aspirations. So on observing Didi ji's journey to becoming Bapsaman, because this is the sum total of her Smriti Swarup, is becoming Bapsaman. She accomplished that equality of love and power that Baba spoke of on Sunday with a smooth and an easy elegance. What many would say is too steep a climb, Didi made it easy with simple and easy steps. Her journey had a profound beauty of purpose, and there was a deep trust in becoming what she was destined to be. The blessings she received from Baba, and every day I was reading those blessings to you, lit her way, sheltered and guided her along the way. But her focus was the mirror of God, because in the mirror of God, her divine essence clarified itself and the portrait of Bapsaman took shape. So from day 1, we looked at the different threads that Didi became, or she inculcated in her Smriti Swarup and emerged as Bapsaman. So being the true Gopi, she celebrated the dance of supersensuous joy and delight. She held the absolute truth as nectar in the golden vessel of a soul-conscious intellect. She weaved her life with the threads of Srimad as a karma yogi. Her alokik, her sublime beauty shone with the radiance of the Maryadas. And her sweet surrender opened an inner door to a new freedom. Her combined form of a Shiv Shakti made her an instrument of spiritual authority. On July 28, 1983, DDG completed her journey with the words, "Now it's time to go home. Ab ghar jana hai." After Didi left, Bap Dada spoke to Dadiji about DDG. This is what he said to Dadiji, and why I found that it was significant to share it. It's because sometimes people leave their bodies and we don't know what happened. We kind of assume they have become angelic. We kind of assume this and assume that, and we paint a picture of what we would like for them. But here's a case in which Baba was telling Dadiji about Didiji after she left her body. And he said to Dadi, just as in the corporeal form, first of all, he said to her, "Where is your friend, Didi?" And then he said, just as in the corporeal form, after the world mother, Mama, she, Didi, was Brahma Baba's companion. In the same way, even now, she is with Abhyakt Brahma. She is playing the part of a companion in service. The world mother, Mama, especially looked after the business activity of the yajna from the beginning. And after the world mother, it was the responsibility of this soul, Didi. There were other companions too, but she especially had a part on the stage with corporeal Brahma Baba. And even now, Brahma Baba and Didi continue to have heart-to-heart conversations and play various roles in service. Just as Didi's sanskaras in the corporeal form were to put plans of service into practice and to give zeal and enthusiasm, in the same way, even now, that same sanskara is playing the part of encouraging the group of instruments who are carrying out establishment of the new world. Do you remember Didiji's special words? What were her words? What were her special words to put zeal and enthusiasm into others? She always said, do something new. She used to ask repeatedly, what newness have you brought? In the same way, she used to converse with Abhyakt Brahma using the same words. He's putting zeal and enthusiasm into the advanced party too. What have you done so far? What is happening now? She asks them. She's putting that same sanskara in a practical form. She never used to allow anyone to sit idly. Even now, she's getting the arrows ready to bring the advanced party onto the stage. She had the sanskaras of a controller. Now, she is the controller of the advanced party. Her sanskaras of service are even now in an emerged form. So do you understand where Didi is now? She's now touring the world. And even now she's making many big plans to give you cooperation. Now it will not take long. So in those words, Baba described that after becoming Bapsaman and after gaining that angelic form, that Swarup, Didi is now working with the advanced party. And so to bring about the establishment of the new world requires that stage, that ultimate stage of Bapsaman, that Smriti Swarup of Bapsaman and being angelic. And so I thought that was very interesting because after becoming Bapsaman and after coming into the angelic Swarup, what then? So Baba described that. Didi became Bapsaman with the quality of love and remembrance, with that equality of love and remembrance. And Sister Mohini was talking about Mami Kam Yad Karo. She said that 90% of her efforts were being absorbed in Baba's love and power, in Baba's love and remembrance. And 10% was everything else. So that's how her intellect remained with Baba 90% of her life. Now, let's listen to Didi Ji's sweet voice and her words of wisdom.
सदा बाबा के साथ रहे, इसके लिए बाबा ने बहुत मीठी युक्ति सुनाई है। वो मीठे बच्चे आप त्रिलोकीनाथ, वो भी इस संगम युग पर।
So that we always stay with Baba, sweet Baba has given us very good yuktis. He says, children, you are now Trilokinath, and even that at the confluence age.
त्रिकालदर्शी तो बने, त्रिनेत्री तो बने, तब त्रिलोकीनाथ भी तुम हो।
You have become Trikaldarshi, you have become the ones who have 3 eyes, but now you are the ones who are Trilokinath, masters of the 3 worlds.
तो इसलिए तीनों ही लोगों का सैर जैसे कि चलता है।
Therefore, you must continue to tour around all the 3 lands.
मूल वतन का सैर तो किया और कर भी रहे हो, परंतु सूक्ष्म वतन के सैर पर आप विराजमान रहेंगे तो थोड़ा सा नीचे कर्म योग का पाठ बचाने आकर के और फिर सूक्ष्म वतन में चले जाओ।
You have toured up to the supreme region and you will continue to do that. But then if you spend more time in the subtle regions, then you will come down to perform actions and you will return up there again.
तो ऐसी महसूसता आएंगी जैसे कि प्यारे बाप दादा के साथ हम चल नहीं रहे हैं।
Then you will have the feeling that you are continuing to live with beloved Bap Dada.
वो ही चला रहे हैं। अब ये सिर्फ कथनी का समय नहीं, नॉलेज मिली उस पर नहीं, तो नॉलेज से कथन होता है, लेकिन अभी हमारा बिल्कुल ही जैसे कि स्वरूप बन करके और वो प्रैक्टिकल में दूसरा कोई दे।
We continue to do that, but now it's no longer the time to just speak about knowledge even. Whatever it is that we've heard, we must continue to put that into practice.
और बाबा कहे, महादानी तो बने हो, क्योंकि पढ़ाई और कमाई तो चल रही है, इसमें बच्चे तो बहुत जैसे कि आगे आगे जा ही रहे।
Baba says that you have become the great donors. You are studying and you are continuing to earn an income, but you have to continue to move forward in this.
So now for our homework, the Amrit Vela point would be Ab ghar jana hai. Now let's go home. It's the time to go home. And we'll reaffirm our Smriti Swarup. My Smriti is Bapsaman. In my awareness, I'm becoming Bapsaman. And my Swarup is Angelic. And then during the day, we practice what you told us about being in the subtle region. So tomorrow, I will spend more time in the subtle region in my angelic form. And my reason for doing that is the effort I will make is to experience being Bapsaman, experience that equality of love and power, love and remembrance. And being in the subtle region would help me to do that when I'm in my angelic form. And then the reflection for tomorrow night is I will reflect on this. I've spent the day with Baba in the subtle region. And I experienced that abject feeling of equality in love and power. So capture that. What was that feeling? What did it feel like? So that's for tomorrow night. But let's not forget our homework for tonight in terms of our reflection. So today we have experimented with the Smriti of spiritual authority and the Swarup of a Shiv Shakti. And so tonight, before we go to sleep, we will reflect on, seated on my immortal throne, the soul is a Shiv Shakti. My spiritual authority emerged in the power of words. Today we had to pay attention to words. How did I manage my words today? Did I speak less? Did I speak sweetly? Did I speak with words that gave meaning? So we'll reflect on that tonight. And before we go into our collective yoga, we will be going into that experience of being in the sweet home. And at this point, I wanted to say that, when I thought of this last meditation of the 7 days, today, one of our dearest sisters, Sister Carol, from the Manhattan Center, and many of you know her, some of you don't, but many of you do. She left the body at 3:15 this morning. And I thought, oh my, what a beautiful time to leave the body and fly to Baba. And it was also between these two Smriti Swarup. But today in particular, as we go, tomorrow is her cremation, tomorrow is her funeral. But it would be like tomorrow she's going home, Apkar Jana Hai, and she will be in that, Smriti Swarup of Bapsaman and Angelic. And sometimes I feel that things happen to us at such times when we are collectively practicing things. And so that in itself, this Smriti Swarup is like a presence that lifts us off into higher dimensions. And so for me now, I always think about which Smriti Swarup am I wearing today? Just as how I think, what sari am I wearing today? I'm also thinking about which Smriti Swarup am I wearing today? So as we go into our collective meditation, let's think about people, souls, who have left and who have gone and who are with Baba and who have gone into their new births to do the things that Baba says Didi is doing, and joining that advance party and helping in the establishment of that new world. So let's give her lots of love and remembrance, but also everyone else who's joining that advance party. So let's do our collective yoga. Apkar Jana Hai.
अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है, अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है। आदि अंत का मंत्र यही है, सबको यही सुनाना है। अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है, अब घर जाना है कि अब घर जाना है।
सदा बाबा के साथ रहे, बाबा ने बहुत मीठी युक्ति सुनाई है। वो मीठे बच्चे आप त्रिलोकीनाथ, वो भी इस संगम युग पर।
So that we always stay with Baba, sweet Baba has given us very good yuktis. He says, children, you are now Trilokinath, and even that at the confluence age.
त्रिकालदर्शी तो बने, त्रिनेत्री भी बने, तब त्रिलोकीनाथ भी तुम हो।
You have become Trikaldarshi, you have become the ones who have 3 eyes, but now you are the ones who are Trilokinath, masters of the 3 worlds.
तो इसलिए तीनों ही लोगों का सैर जैसे कि चलता है।
Therefore, you must continue to tour around all the 3 lands.
अब तो हमारी मीठी मीठी बहन जनक बहन मिलती है, ये भी देखो एक वंडर है।
Now, my sweet sister Janak also meets you. You see, this also is a wonder.
खुद योनो के वर्षन से आप समझेंगी तो कैसे बाबा ने हम बच्चों को एक सैंपल बना करके आगे रखा है।
Through her versions, you also understand how Baba has made her an example and put her in front of us.
तो मिलने के समय ओम शांति से मिलना है और एक दो से मीठे बोल बोल करके फिर याद दिलाना है घर, अब घर चलना है।
When we meet each other with Om Shanti, and then in words we remind each other that now it's time to return home.
अब घर चलना है, अब घर चलना है, समझा?
Now we have to return home, we have to return home. Do you understand?
Om Shanti. So I'll continue our Baba's remembrance. We'll sit in Baba's remembrance, and also as Sister Gayatri shared about our dear sister Carol. So Yes, we'll send her our good wishes also. So let's remember Baba. And tomorrow is Tuesday. So just to remind that we'll be having Avek Murli revision from 5 to 6:10 p.m. Other schedule will be same. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, good night. Yeah, it's high destination, but our guide is with us. Baba will make it happen. Ancestor souls will help us. Yeah, so this morning Baba said, no, have courage. So some might think, oh, I am not in Mamekam, but it is there, but percentage has to increase, right? So Om Shanti, good night. Om Shanti.